Subscribe my channel for G and NEET.
Hello students, good morning all of you. Today in our topic we want to learn the numericals on collisions. So already we explained the types of collisions in our previous videos. I will be given the iCards in our top of our videos, so please check once, and after you have to do these numericals. So this is very important topic for the JEE and NEET and also board examinations. You have to practice thoroughly, then you can definitely will get the good marks with logic. Okay, let us start our topic. So students, before going to our topic, and you have to subscribe our channel and like the videos and share to your friends and promote our channel, so which leads to giving me a strength. Thank you. Right, start with our some of the our basics today here from the collisions. So what is a collision? The collision is nothing but a smallest interaction between the two bodies, so which are passing through the straight line or which are moving in the same direction or in opposite direction. They can be collide to each other. So here the speeds also are different in nature. So for suppose this is the speed of the first body and this is the second body. The speed of the first body is greater than to the second body, and then there is a chance to collide each other. Right, the types of collisions are, so what is the main theme behind the collision? Which physical quantities are changes by the collision? The momentum of the bodies, the momentum of the body should be changes. Momentum of the bodies should be changes. Right, so this is the main important. And one more, the kinetic energy of the system. So momentum of the body should be, it is meaning that momentum of the system is always constant. Momentum of the system is always constant, but momentum of the body should be changes. Kinetic energy of the system is constant, and the kinetic energy of the individual bodies are different. Are you understand? So these two are the major concepts behind the collisions. The types of collisions, there are so many types of collisions are there. The first collision, it is the one-dimensional collision and two-dimensional collision. Second one, it is two-dimensional collision. In one-dimensional collision, there are three types of collisions are there. The first one, it is the elastic collision, and the second one, it is inelastic collision. Right, so third one, it is nothing but partially elastic or partially inelastic. There is no perfect, it is just doing partially elastic or partially inelastic. Right, so these are the one-dimensional collisions. And in case of two-dimensional collision, this is nothing but oblique collision. So in the oblique collision, there are three types of collisions are there. That is, oblique elastic collision is there, oblique inelastic collision is there, oblique partial collision or partially elastic or partially inelastic. So these are the main types of the collisions. Once again, one-dimensional collisions, two-dimensional collisions. For belonging to the one-dimensional collision, there are three types are there: elastic collision and inelastic collision, and one more, it is there, partially elastic or partially inelastic. And coming to the two-dimensional, that is nothing but oblique collision. And in the oblique collision, there are elastic oblique collision is there and inelastic oblique collision is there. And similarly, the partially elastic oblique collision and partially inelastic oblique collision. So these are the main types of the collisions. In what collision, which type of factor should be changed, you have to see for doing the numericals. Coming to the one-dimensional. So in one-dimensional elastic collision, one-dimensional elastic. So in the one-dimensional elastic collision, if two bodies are participating in the collision, so here these two bodies are in the line of impact or line of motion, LOI, line of impact or line of motion. And after collision, this is the before collision. This is the before collision. And after collision, the bodies must be in the line of impact. So this is the elastic collision. So this is the after collision. In after collision also the bodies must be having in the line of impact. So this can be called as elastic collision. In elastic collision there are two physical components are conserved. That is, one, it is the momentum of the system is conserved. Momentum of the entire system is conserved. Conservation means it is constant, right? Constant means what the momentum has the bodies before collision, it is equal to having the momentum at after collision, right? The second one, it is the kinetic energy of the system. Kinetic energy of the entire system is conserved. Entire system is conserved. It means this is also constant at before, which can having the how much kinetic energy have the two bodies, that much of kinetic energy having the system, right? So these two components are conserved in the elastic collision. This is in one dimensional. So by doing this, there are, we can write that m1 by the momentum of conservation, that is m1 u1, because of the first body mass it is m1, velocity it is initially u1, the second body m2, velocity u2, the first body m1 and m2, and it is v1 and v2. So then we can write that m1 u1 plus m2 u2, it is equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2, right? So for coming to the kinetic energy of the system, we can write that the kinetic energy of the first body, that is of m1 v1 square. This is the basic equation of kinetic energy, that is of mv square. The basic equation of momentum, p is equal to mv. So hence you can write that mass into velocity, right? m1 u1 square plus m of m2 u2 square, it is equal to of m1 v1 square and plus of m2 v2 square. So this is the conservation law of the kinetic energy in case of one dimensional elastic collision, right? From these two we can write that the v2 minus, here we can write that u1 minus u2, it is equal to v2 minus v1. So this is very important equation for the one dimensional elastic collision. It can be says that in the words we can write that the relative approaching velocity, the relative approaching at before collision, approach means before the collision. So the two bodies are approaches to the collide pattern, then that is the approaching velocity. The relative approaching velocity at before collision is equal to the relative separation velocity at after collision. So this will be situated only in case of elastic collision. If two bodies are in the participating in elastic collision, then only the relative approaching velocity at before collision is equal to the relative separation of velocity at after collision. So this will be occurs in only elastic collision. You have to remember this point. And here the quotient of restitution, it is denoted by the letter E, small e. This can be the ratio between these two components, that is nothing but the relative separation of velocity and to the relative approaching of velocity, right? So here v2 minus v1, this can be the after collision, you can remember after collision, and u1 minus u2, it is the before collision. Okay, so this ratio will gives us the quotient of restitution. So quotient of restitution, it is equal, E is equal v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. So this is the major parts in the elastic collision. Okay, in case of one-dimensional inelastic collision. In case of one-dimensional inelastic collision, what will be happening? So here there are two bodies, mass m1 u1 and mass m2 initial velocity u2 will be participating in inelastic collision. Then what should be happening in the inelastic collision? After the collision, the two bodies are must having maintaining the same speed. So either one into another are penetrates or combined to each other or moving with the common velocity. So here v1 or v2, this is equal to the v. So the two bodies are moving with the common velocity, that is the v. So this is the perfect inelastic collision, and already we have to say that is the perfect elastic collision, right? So in this case, the momentum only conserved, only the momentum of the system is conserved. The kinetic energy will not be conserved. That's why you have to write m1 u1 plus m2 u2 at before collision is equal to after collision, that is m1 plus m2. The two masses are combined to each other and moving with common velocity, that is v. So where we have to write v is equal m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. So this is the final velocity occurs in the inelastic collision. Final velocity of the bodies in the inelastic collision. Just you have to clear the values, where if two bodies are participating in elastic collision, what is the final velocity? Then you have to use this formula. Then you can get the answer, right? But the final velocities of the two bodies in the elastic collision of two bodies in elastic collision. So in elastic collision, that is v1, it is equal to, already you write that the relative approaching velocities at before collision is equal to the relative separation velocity at after collision, right? From this equation we can write that where v2 is equal to u1 minus u2 plus v1. So this equation should be used to find the final velocity of the v1. So the first body final velocity should be here. This can be substituted in the momentum equation, that is nothing but already wrote that here m1 u1 plus m2 u2 m1 v1. So we can solve it in our previous video. So I will be put in the iCards, so please check it once. And where v1 it is equal, you can write that is m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2. So here there is m1, you can write u1, and plus already here m1 should be completed, then you have to write 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into, here there is m2, you should write u2. Okay, so this is the final velocity of the first body where two bodies are in elastic collision. Coming to the second body, v2 is equal, just you have to substitute the v1 should be substituted, then you can write if v2 minus u1 plus u2 will be substituted in this equation by the replacing of v1, then you can get the v2 value, that is, so here there is v1 started with m1, here there is v2 started with m2, so that is m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into, here there is m2, you should write the u2 value, and plus m2 was completed, then you have to write 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into, here there is m1, you should write u1. So this is the concept you have to write, and remember the formulas of the final velocity of the collisions in elastic collision. There are v1 and v2. And coming to the coefficient of restitution for the inelastic collision, so this is the coefficient of restitution v2 minus v1 by u1 minus u2. For it is if it is a inelastic collision, in the inelastic collision v1 is equal to v2 is equal to v, because of after the collision two bodies are moving with the same velocity, that is common velocity v, hence you have to substitute, then here v minus v by, it is u1 minus u2, nothing but 0 by something, Here it is equal 0. Therefore, in case of inelastic collision, the quotient of restitution, it is equal 0. It must be. This is the perfect inelastic collision. In case of perfect inelastic collision, okay. In case of perfect inelastic collision, the quotient of restitution, it is 0. In case of perfect elastic collision, the E, it is equal. In case of elastic collision, already you write that u1 minus u2 is equal v2 minus v1. So for the formula of quotient of restitution, you should write the v2 minus v1 value, it is equal u1 minus u2. Just simply u1 minus u2 by u1 minus u2, both are will be cancelled out. Then it will be E is equal to 1 for the perfect elastic collision. Right, these are the values of quotient of restitution for both inelastic and elastic. These two are only perfect elastic or perfect inelastic. In case of partially elastic or partially inelastic, the value of quotient of restitution is should be greater than to the 0 and less than to the 1, right? So it means 0 between the value 0 and 1. So this is the partially elastic or partially inelastic. Okay, so these are the quotient of restitution values in case of only one dimensional elastic collisions. But coming to the two dimensional elastic collision, now coming to the oblique collision, which is in the two dimensional. So here the both objects are not having the line of impact. So it cannot be maintaining the line of impact. They can be, both the bodies are maintaining with some angle. So this is the centers. So these are not in the line of axis. If the line axis it is, if another body is here, but it is not possible. So this type of collision is called oblique collision. So here the body having the mass m1, the body having the mass m2. Okay, it can be moves with the u1 velocity, it can moves with the u2 velocity. So they can be having some angle with the line of impact, that is theta, and also it can be having, so this is for suppose let it be u1, and this is for suppose let it be u2, and it can be making some angle with the line of impact. Okay, then the speed of the balls or the speed of the objects will be converted into two components. So that is horizontal component and vertical component. For in case of the first body, the horizontal component should write, so this is the horizontal component, you can write u1 cos theta, because of here the angle it is theta, and here the vertical component, that is vertical to the line of axis, that is u1 sin theta, right? In case of second body, the horizontal component, that is u1 cos alpha, because of here the angle it is alpha. In case of second body, the vertical component, that is, this is the horizontal, the vertical component is u2 sin alpha, right? So this will be conversion of the velocity of the two bodies which before collision, right? So here in oblique collision there are elastic collision is there, inelastic collision is there, partially elastic collision is there. So coming to this one, after the collision, these two bodies are not having in the line of impact. So one of the body is moving with the some angle, and another body should be moving with some angle. So this is the, let it be first body and let it be second body, right? They can be maintaining with the scattered into the different directions. Okay, so here the velocities are, final velocities are v1 and v2. So here we can write that if it is a elastic collision, the momentum should be conserved in the along with the x direction and along with the y direction. So that's why we need to explain two-dimensional motion of the oblique collision. So along with the x direction, there is a momentum should be along with the x-axis momentum should be conserved. Along with the y-axis, momentum should be conserved. Okay, so the momentum should be written as along with x-axis and y-axis for in case of elastic collision. But in case of elastic collision, the kinetic energy is also conserved, but it will be take as one direction. So because of energy is the scalar quantity which has no direction, that's why we need to write only the kinetic energy which can having before collision of two particles, and it will be equal to the after collision of two particles, right? So this is the conservation of the oblique collision in case of elastic. So the quotient of the restitution we should write E is equal relative separation velocity and by the ratio of relative approaching of velocity. You can write that it is v2 minus v1 by what is u1 sin theta minus u2, what is that, u2 sin alpha, u2 sin alpha. So this is the quotient of restitution in case of elastic collision, in case of elastic oblique collision in two-dimensional motion. The numericals. So the first problem it is, if two bodies of masses 3 kg and 6 kg are moving with the speeds of 10 meter per second and 4 meter per second, if they can collide in a collinear, collinear means it is in the straight line, then what are the final velocities of the two bodies? What are the final velocities of the two bodies? Just you have to find v1 and v2, right? So here two bodies are two bodies of masses 3 kg and 6 kg. Just you have to write the given data. M1 it is equal 3 kg and M2 it is equal 6 kg. Okay, are moving with the speeds of u1 is equal to initial velocity 10 meter per second and u2 is equal 4 meter per second. And now we have to find the v1 and v2, v1 and v2. Just simply you have to, so collinear means after the collisions also they have in the same straight line, then it can be as a elastic collision. It is a elastic collision. Final velocity after two bodies. Collinear means in the straight line, so it is line of impact, then it can be fixed as elastic collision. So in case of elastic collision, we should write the final velocities. Already we cleared that. So that is for the final velocities of the first body, that is v1 is equal to m1 minus m2 by, so for v1 we have to start with m1 plus m2. Here there is m1, you should write u1 here, and plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into here u2. Okay, right, just simply you have to substitute all those values which are mentioned here. M1 is equal 3 kg and minus M2 is equal 6 kg by M1 plus M2, 3 plus 6 into what is the value of U1? It is 10 plus 2 into M2 it is equal 6 kg by M1 plus M2, 3 plus 6 into U2, that is equal 4. Just we have to simplify. This can be minus 3 into 10 by 9 and plus 12 into 4, 48 by 9. Okay, just simply you can 30 by 9 minus 30 plus 48 by 9, it is equal to 18 by 9, right? It is equal to 2. What is that? 2 meter per second, whereas v1 it is equal to 2 meter per second. Just you have to write v1 is equal to 2 meter per second. And similarly find out the v2 value. It is equal to, what is the v2? We have to start with m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2 into, here you should write u2 because of started with m2, and plus 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1. Here is you have to substitute all those equations, all those values. That is m2 is nothing but, what is the m2 value? That is 6 kg minus 3 kg by 6 plus 3 into u2 nothing but 4 meter per second and plus 2m1 2 into 6 by and 6 plus 3 into u1 it is nothing but 10 meter per second. You should write here 3 by 9 into 4 plus 12 by 9 into 10. Okay, just you have to write here. So here sorry m1 it is the 3 kg. You should write 3 into 3 2 into 3 that is 6. Right here 12 plus 60 by 9 it is equal 72 by 9 it is equal to 8 meter per second. So this is the v2 value. So here the values of final velocities of v1 and v2, where if two bodies, this is the first body and this is the second body, m1 it is equal 3 kg and m2 is equal 6 kg with the 10 meter per second and 4 meter per second. After the collision it has 3 kg and it has 6 kg, but v1 it is equal here 2 meter per second and v2 it is equal here 8 meter per second. So these are the values you have to derive, that is 2 and 8 meter per second. This is the option you have to. So this is the simply the direct formula you have to use in this type of numericals. Okay, are you understand? Right, coming to the next problem. A 30-gram bullet moving at 30 meter per second collide a 1 kg block at rest. The block is at rest. Determine the speed of the block if the bullet and the block lock together as a result of the collision. Because here you can write that this is the inelastic collision, completely inelastic collision, because of here he mentioned the block if the bullet, determine the speed of the block if the bullet and the block lock together. So this is the target and this is the bullet, right? So the bullet it is the which can be moving with the 30 meter per second and collide with the 1 kg of block, 1 kg of block, and find the movement of the block. Here find the velocity of the block. Here there is a bullet also. Here after the collision the bullet is inside of the block, it can be penetrates into the block. So then the common velocity v. So here we have to write inelastic collision. So just you have to simply write that which they can be given to us. The mass of the bullet, that is nothing but m1. You can write 30 grams. It will be m2. It is equal to 1 kg. The gram should be converted into kg. That is 30 by 1000. Because of 1000 grams is 1 kilogram. Then you can write it is 0 and 0 cancelled out. 3 by 100 it is nothing but 0.03 kg. So this is the m1 and this is the m2, right? So the initial velocity of the first body, which is bullet, that is 30 meter per second, and the initial velocity of the block is which is at rest, that is 0. Okay, now find the velocity v. After the collision they can be moving with the common velocity, already we wrote that. So here we have to write common velocity v is equal m1 u1 plus m2 u2 by m1 plus m2. Okay, this is the formula, right? For suppose if you have don't remember the formula, then what you have to do? So for suppose you have to just simply draw the diagram. So this is the mass. What is the mass here? 0.03. Mass into velocity. Mass into velocity at before collision. Okay, and this is the after collision. There is a block. Mass into velocity u is equal to 0. Okay, and here after collision, so this is the block which can be penetrates into the bullet. So here the mass of the block and to the mass of the bullet and velocity, just right. So before collision, mass into velocity. So m1 u1 plus m2 into u2 is equal 0, right? It is equal, whereas two masses are combined to each other, locked to each other, m1 m2 into v, right? Just simply this is 0 and v is equal to m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. So this is the formula. Okay, so this is also you have to write the formula. So here u2 is equal to 0, then simply you can write v is equal to m1 u1 by m1 plus m2, because since u2 is equal to 0, m2 into 0, 0 into something 0 kabatti, so you can write v is equal to m1 u1 by m1 plus m2. Just write m1, what is the m1 value? So 0.03, right? 0.03 into u1 means 30 by, what is right? m1 plus m2. m1 means 0.03 plus m2, 1 kg. Okay, therefore you should write here 0.90 by 1.03. you should write here 0.87. What is that? Meter per second. So here velocity of the block and together bullet after the collision, that is 0.87 meter per second. So this is the method you have to prepare the solution this type of problems. Okay, coming to the next one. If two masses 3 kg and 4 kg approach each other in opposite direction with the speeds of v1 is equal to 10 meter per second and v2 is equal to 12 meter per second, if the collision is perfectly inelastic, you should remember perfectly inelastic, what are the speeds of the two balls after the collisions? So obviously after the collision the speeds of both balls are common because of it is an inelastic collision. So here you have to find one final velocity is enough to find. So it is nothing but common to the, so this formula. Okay, right. So here the terms we have to write which they are given to us, that is the mass of the first body, that is m1 is equal to 3 kg and m2 is equal to 4 kg. Okay, so these are the two bodies, 3 kg and 4 kg, right? Approaches each other opposite direction. It means let it be 3 kg and 4 kg. So this can be moves in this direction and this can be moves in this direction. So these are the opposite direction. So this can be having the, this is v1 and this is v2. So v1 is the, what is the velocity? v1 is 10 meter per second and v2 is 12 meter per second. Okay, right. So if the collision is inelastic collision, so then what we have to done? So v1 here it is, we have to take minus 10 meter per second and v2 it is plus 12 meter per second, because the direction of the bodies, so this is will be taken as positive, this can be will be taken as negative. Okay, so this is simple, you have to remember. So if the ball is moving in this direction, forward direction, that is positive sign, and it will be in negative sign. It is x-axis, it is minus x-axis. So these are the signs you have to take. Therefore just you can write the formula at before collision m1 u1 plus m2 u2, it is equal m1 plus m2, the common velocity, that is v, right? Just simply you have to substitute the values. Therefore m1 is equal to 3 kg, u1 is equal, it is nothing but, what is that, u1 or v1, you should write here minus 10 plus m2 means, what is the m2, that is 4 kg and u2 or v2 it is equal, that is 12 meter per second. It is equal to m1 plus m2, that is 3 plus 4 into v, that is equal to v, right? Simply you can write that, that is minus 30 plus 48, it is equal to 7v. v is equal to here 18 by 7, it is nothing but 2.5, it is what is that, 2.56, okay, meter per second. So this is the final velocity after the inelastic collision of the two bodies. The both bodies are having the same velocity, right? Coming to the next question, if a ball is falling from 12 meter height from the ground, after hitting ground it rebounds into the height height 6 meters, then what is the quotient of restitution? So here there is a ball which can be has certain height from the ground, that is 12 meters. So it will be falling on the ground and it will be rebouncing after falling, after hitting the ground with the 6 meters of height. Okay, so then what is the quotient of restitution? Right, this is the H1 and this is H2 value. Let us find out the quotient of restitution, that is E is equal to under root of H2 by H1. This is the formula which we have derived in our previous video. I can provide in end cards in above our video. You have to check it once. So H2 by H1, whereas H2 it is equal 6 meters and H1 it is equal 12 meters. So just substitute the values, that is E is equal to under root of H2 means that is equal 6 and H1 means 12. It is equal, E is equal to under root of 1 by 2. The quotient of restitution E is equal to 1 by under root of 1 by root 2. So this is also quotient of restitution. So here for the sake of, we have to observe where H2 is equal H1 by 2. H1 by 2. Are you understand? H2 is the H1 by 2. H1, what is the H1? 12 meters. By 2 it is equal 6 meters. It means the reback height of the rebouncing is half of the height of the ball. Right? Half of the height of the ball. It means, for example, if there is a ball is falling from the certain height, that is H, after hitting the ground it will be reaches half of its height of the ball, H by 2. So then what is the quotient of restitution? So E it is equal, so this can be the H1 and this can be the H2. Just simply you can write it is H2 by H1, whereas it is equal, what is H2? It is H by 2, and what is H1? That is H. You can write, so this is equal H by 2H. Then HH will be cancelled. It is under root of 1 by root 2, 1 by 2. So this can be 1 by root 2, which is nothing but already you have to prove in here. Right. So here in this case, what you have to remember it is, if the height of the ball, how much it can consisting, after rebouncing it will be half of its height, then the quotient of restitution must be 1 by root 2. So for suppose, if a ball is falling from the 10 meters of height, after rebouncing it will be goes 5 meters, then quotient of restitution you should directly write as 1 by 2 under root. Right? So this is the method you have to remember. So this is the method you have to remember. So this is the question which was asked in 2017 JEE from the collisions. So very important model. A ball impinges directly on a similar ball at rest. Impinges means it has the collision directly on a similar ball. So this is a ball. So here there are some options are there. Let us write the options. You have to write, these are the options. Right, a ball is impinges directly on a similar ball. So let us, this is a ball having the mass m. Okay, first ball is brought to at rest. So here ball at rest. So this can be collides with the another ball having the mass which is at rest. Okay, so I have to write at before collision. So this can be moving with the speed v1 or v, and this is at rest, and here the momentum should be, due to the conservation of momentum, the momentum it is equal to, before collision it is mv, because it is equal 0, and the kinetic energy, that is half mv square. Okay, and coming to the after collision. So right, the first ball is brought to rest by the impact. So this collision occurs after the first ball is at rest. So here this can be at rest, and the second ball which is here, the second ball is moving with the speed of, I think it is, let it be v1. So this is the mass. Okay, this is the second ball. And here the velocity of the approach, here velocity of the approach, what is the velocity of approach here? This can be only velocity of approach, it is u1 minus u2 similarly, generally, but here this is 0. Then velocity v approach it is equal to, just you can write v. And here in this case you can write the velocity of separation it is equal to v1, because of it has at rest. Okay, right. So here the half of the kinetic energy is lost by impact. So by this process the half of the kinetic energy is lost. What is kinetic energy at before collision? It is half mv square. What is the kinetic energy after the collision? Of mv1 square, of mv1 square. So this kinetic energy will be lost half of the kinetic energy of the impact. So of mv1 square it is equal 1 by 2 of the of mv square. Okay, right. Once again students, a ball impinges directly on a similar ball at rest. A ball impinges directly on a similar ball at rest. Okay, the first ball is brought to rest by the impact. The first ball is brought to rest by the impact. The half of the kinetic energy is lost by impact. The value of quotient of restitution is, the value of quotient of restitution. The value of quotient of restitution in this case, it is velocity of separation by velocity of approach. So what is the velocity of separation here? That is v1. What is the velocity of approach here? v. So E is equal to v1 by v. Just you have to find the v1 value. It means what is the final velocity of this case, then you should simply, you can write the E value, so which it is here given to the our options. Right, find out the v1. So here the hint it is given to us, if half of the kinetic energy is lost by the impact. So due to the impact the kinetic energy is half mv square, of mv1 square. By this impact half of the kinetic energy is lost, 1 by 2. It means half of the kinetic energy which case before collision, it is 1 by 2 mv square. This is the logic you have to find out. Just simply where 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 will be cancelled out, and mass and mass will be cancelled out. It is equal v square is equal, okay, v square is equal to 2v1 square. V square is equal to v1 square. Just simply v1 we need to v1 square is equal to v square by 2. v1 is equal what is that? V by root 2. V by root 2. Square and square will be cancelled out, and 2 will be as root 2. So v1 is equal v by root 2. So already you know the quotient of restitution E. So that is equal to, E is equal to v1 by v. It's simply what is v1? V by root 2 into 1 by v. Okay, this v will be cancelled. Whereas v and v will be cancelled out, it is 1 by root 2. The quotient of restitution E is equal to 1 by root 2. Okay, so then you have to check the answer. So that is 1 by root 2, whereas b. Okay, just you have to read the problem, then you have to get the idea. So here once again, a ball impinges directly on the similar ball at rest. A ball impinges which is the similar ball at rest. Okay, here the velocity it is equal 0, and then it can moving with some velocity, I think it is v, right? The first ball is brought to rest by the impact. After the collision, first ball is at rest, this ball is at rest. So here this is velocity 0, and it can be moving with some velocity, another ball. Okay, and you have to compare the before collision momentum mass into velocity, it is the 0, right? Kinetic energy here of mv square. At after collision momentum it is equal already here mv1, let it be, right? But here the kinetic energy of mv1 square. Here the velocity of the approach, here u1 minus u2 generally, but here u1 it is equal to v, u2 is equal to 0. So then you have to only v. Here v2 minus v1 generally, the velocity of separation just you can have only the V1 value, just you can have only the V1 value, whereas V1, the quotient of restitution, that is equal ratio of velocity of separation by velocity of approach, that is V1 by V, right? So you don't know value of V1, so just you have to find the value of V1. So just you have to find the value of V1. So that is the key point here. They have given to us the half of the kinetic energy is lost by impact. Half of the kinetic energy is lost by impact, that is half mv square, it is equal 1 by 2. It means half of the kinetic energy which is before the collision. So just we have to simplify. The V1 value is equal to V by root 2. From the formula we can write E is equal to 1 by root 2. Okay, this is the solution, right? This is another question which is in our previous examinations, that is 2015. On a frictionless surface, block of mass m moving at speed v collides elastically with another block of mass, same mass, okay, which is initially at rest. So same case here in our previous problem, right? After collision, the first ball moves at an angle theta to its initial direction and has a speed v by 3. The second block speed after the collision is, right? This is very important formula, problem, important model. So you have to practice thoroughly, right? You have to see the solution. So here a mass of block has the mass m. So here it has moving with the speed v, and it will be collides with the another block having the same mass which is at initially rest, okay, right? And after the collision, the first block which is moving with the velocity v by 3 and with the set an angle to the initial direction, set an angle to the theta to the its initial direction, okay, and has speed v by 3 and has speed v by 3. The second block's speed after the collision is, what is the second block? So for suppose this is the second block, what is the speed of the second block? Let it be v0. Let's find the v0 value, how much it is, right? So here, so these two bodies are not having in the line of impact or line of motion because of the directions of the balls after the collision is different. Hence there is no, we cannot find out by the momentum, that is nothing but quotient of restitution, velocity of separation and velocity of approaching of velocities. This is not right way to find. And here one more we need to, that is kinetic energy. At before collision what type, how much kinetic energy it can have, and after collision how much kinetic energy. So we just compare kinetic energy at initial, it is equal kinetic energy at final. So this maybe gives us the answer by the using of this concept, okay, right? So from this case, the kinetic energy at before collision, so it is equal half mv square and plus the kinetic energy at before collision, this is 0, it is equal half m v square means v by 3 square. Here one of the body has v by 3 and plus half m v0 square. Just find out the v0 value, okay? So how much the v0 value, it is the options are there. Just simplify, it is 1 by 2m, 1 by 2m, 1 by 2m, right? These are all cancelled out. It is v square is equal, we can write it is equal v square by 9 because of v by 3 whole square is equal v square by 9 and plus of v0 square. Just simply by the doing LCM, it is v square is equal to v square plus 9 v0 square by 9. Just 9 v square minus v square is equal to 9 v0 square. It is equal to 8 v square is equal to 9 v0 square, okay? Just we can write 8 by 9 v square is equal to v naught square. Just we need v value, then v naught is equal to root of 8 by 9 into v, because of square and root will be cancelled out. So under root of 8 and under root of 9 should be written as 3 and 8 should be 2 root 2, you can write, and v. So it is v naught is equal 2 root 2 by 3 v. So 2 root 2 by 3 v. What is that? 2 root 2 by 3 v. So option A is the right answer. So here just simply the question we have to understand. So then we have to, it is the important role it is here, the schematic diagram which you have to draw. So after thoroughly reading the problem, you just draw the what you are assuming in our mind, then we can directly find the solution easily. Okay, so this is the pattern you have to solve the question. This is the another problem which was asked in 2016 NEET. A rigid ball of mass m strikes a rigid wall at 60 degree and gets reflected without loss of speed as shown in the figure. The value of impulse imparted by the wall on the ball will be. So impulse means, impulse it is the change in the momentum. So impulse change in momentum, that is equal delta p, it is equal final momentum minus initial momentum. Just you have to write the final momentum, initial momentum. This is the figure which you are there. So this can be drawn with our comfort. So this is the plane which was surface, okay, and this is the hitting of the ball, and these are the directions going. Okay, so this is the mass and v1 direction, v1 velocity, and v2 mass. So this is the ball. Here there is making an angle 60 degree. This can be drawn in this way simply. So here what they are said, that the rigid ball of mass m strikes a rigid wall at 60 degrees and gets reflected without loss of speed. Okay, so then the another will also be making an angle 60 degrees. So the value of impulse, so for suppose here there is a ball will be hitting ground, there is a ball hitting on ground with the v1 speed, and it will be back to the v2 speed. So here, so this is the vertical direction, this is the rigid support is the horizontal x-axis, and moving a motion of the ball, it is the y-axis. So in this downward direction, at first it has in y direction, in vectorically it can be written as minus j because of in downward direction. In upward direction it will be written as plus j because of y direction. Okay, just simply at first we can write that. So initial momentum pi, it is equal to mv1, momentum is equal to mv, v1 is the velocity. You can write, so the vector form we can write it is minus j because of in downward direction, right? The final momentum pf, it is equal, it is mv2, in vectorically it can written as plus j because of it is upward direction, y direction, that is j unit vector, right? So the change in the momentum delta p, it is equal pf minus pi, and it can be written as mv2 minus of mv1 minus mv1 because of minus j, right? You can write m into v1 plus v2, minus into minus plus v1 plus v2. So this is the delta p, right? Where we have to already wrote. So here this is the ball which can be drawn with the v1 speed. Okay, so this can be v1 speed will be written as v1 cos theta 1, v1 cos theta, and this is the ball which can be making an angle theta. So this is upwards, so this is v2, and this is v2 which is v2 cos theta. This is downwards, which is first ball, that is v1 cos theta. You can write delta p is equal to m into v1 cos theta plus v2 cos theta, right? The velocity of the both bodies, that is v1 is equal v2 is equal to v, theta 1 is equal theta 2 is equal theta, then we can write that m into m into 2v cos theta, 2v cos theta, it is equal delta p is equal 2mv cos theta. So here theta was given that it is 60 degrees, then you can write delta p is equal 2mv into cos 60. Cos 60 it is nothing but 1 by 2, it is 2mv into 1 by 2. Here it is equal the change in the momentum, that is impulse, it is equal to mv. mv. Okay, so which is nothing but our answer, it is mv. So this type of problems are very very important. So dear students, you have to follow all the problems which you are discussed here. These are all very very important for JEE and NEET. You should follow, and you should not remember. If you not remember the formulas, you will not get any answer. Just you have to follow the basics of this chapter, and you will get definitely good ideas. And you don't forget to subscribe our channel. Please like, share and comment. Thank you one and all. Next question it is, a heavy truck moving with a velocity of 60 kmph collides with a light drum at rest. If the collision be elastic, then the velocity of the drum immediately after collision will be. So here you need to see there are two particles are there, so that is a heavy truck and a light drum. Compared to the truck of mass of the truck, the light drum, the mass should be very negligible. So that is the logic here we have to see. So then after the collision we have to find the velocity of the drum. So because of drum is already light, so it should be elastic collision. Then what is the velocity of the drum after collision, right? So let it be solve how it will be. Let's just assume this is a truck having the mass m1 and initial velocity it is u1. It is nothing but 60 kmph, 60 kmph, and this is a light drum, and the mass of the drum it is m2 and initial velocity it is 0 because of it has at rest, right? But the mass it is light, it has light drum, then it should be very negligible compared to the mass of the truck, then it has taken as 0. So here m1 is very much greater than m2, that's why m2 is negligible. So the collision is a elastic collision. Already you know that in elastic collision the final velocity of the first body, that is equal to, what is that, m1 minus m2 by m1 plus m2 into u1 plus 2m2 by m1 plus m2 into u2, right? Here m2 is equal to 0 and u2 is equal to 0. So u2 is at rest, m2 is lighter molecule. So then v1 should be written as v1 is equal m1 by m1 into, what is that, u1. So this can be equal to 0 because of 2 into 0 is equal to 0. Then you can write v1 is equal to u1. Already u1 is equal 60 kmph. So the truck will be moving with the same speed because of it has collided with the light drum, then the speed will not be changes. It will be moving with the same speed. What is the speed of the drum after collision, right? So that is the v2, should be written as, it is equal to m2 minus m1 by m1 plus m2, okay, u2 and plus 2m1 by m1 plus m2 into u1, okay. So here you should write that u2 is equal 0 already. u2 is equal 0, hence v2 is equal 0 plus 2m1 by m1, m2 is equal 0 into u1. Okay, therefore v2 is equal to u1. m1 cancelled out. u1 is already, you know that it is 60 kmph. So therefore v2 is equal 2 into 60, that is equal 120 kmph. So the velocity of the drum is double to the velocity of the truck. Okay, so that is the answer, it is 120 kmph. Just whenever they can ask us it has a light drum, then you should taken as the mass, it is the negligible to the first body. So that is the concept here, you have to understand very easily. In the second method, you can write that this is the simple trick to solve it. At before collision, this is the truck having mass m1, u1 or u. So this is the u2 is equal to 0. So at before collision, after collision. Okay, so it after and before. So in case of elastic collision, velocity of approach is equal to velocity of separation, right? So here this can be u and this can be v, right? This can be u. So velocity of approach here u2 is equal to 0, then u1 minus u2, simply you can write u. Okay, this is the velocity of approach here. What is the velocity of separation? v2 minus v1, v minus u. So this is v minus u. So both are equal in case of elastic collision. v minus u is equal to u, v is equal to 2u. Already u is given that is nothing but 60 kmph. Then v is equal to 2 into 60, it is 120 kmph. Just simply you can write this one also. So this is the process by the formula, and this is the simple trick you have to use. Right, coming to the next question. A particle of mass m moving in x direction with speed 2v is hit by another particle of mass 2m moving in the y direction with speed v. If the collision is perfectly inelastic, the percentage loss in the energy during the collision is close to. So here which value is closer to here, that is our answer. Okay, so here we need to see the particles, two particles are moving in, one particle is x direction, another particle is y direction. So just write the diagram. A particle of mass m moving in x direction. So this is a particle m which is moving in x direction, right? X direction with the speed of 2v, and by another particle is mass of m 2m moving in y direction, So this is the particle 2m moving in y direction with the speed v. Okay, if the collision is perfectly inelastic, so just it is x direction and this is y direction, perfectly inelastic, the percentage loss in the energy during the collision. The percentage loss ante here percentage loss delta k, it is equal change in kinetic energy KI minus KF by initial kinetic energy. This is the percentage change into 100 you should write. So you have to find initial kinetic energy and final kinetic energy, then you can do this formula, use this formula, and you will get the answer. Okay, you should find initial kinetic energy at before collision. So just before collision, initial kinetic energy Ki, it is equal at first body, that is of mass, it is m, v it is nothing but 2v square, plus in case of second body of mass, it is equal to m, it is equal v square. Just simply you can simplify that, 1 by 2 m into 4v square plus 1 by 2 1 by 2 2m v square, 2 will be cancelled out, 4 and 2 will be cancelled out, 2mv square plus mv square. Here it is equal 2mv square plus mv square is equal 3mv square, right? So this is the initial kinetic energy. let's find out the final kinetic energy, which is nothing but after collision. Okay, so after collision, conservation law of momentum, conservation law of momentum should be, so here m1 v1, m means m, v1 means 2v. Okay, we just write m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into v. So this is the inelastic collision. The formula to find the conservation law of momentum in the inelastic collision, this is the formula. By this we can write the equation. m1 means mass of the first body m, v1 means velocity 2v. It is moving in x direction, right? It is moving in x direction, that's why it can be taken as I vector form, and plus m2, that is mass, it is 2m, in v2 velocity v. This can be moving in y direction, that is vector form j, and here it is m1 plus m2, 2m plus m, it is 3m, final velocity to vf. Okay, so by the magnitude we can find that. So all the m's are cancelled out here, m, so just you can write that 2 square plus 2 square. We can find the magnitude, x square plus I square, it is equal 3 square v. Okay, so we can find vf. So write, just simply you can write, you have to understand, it is equal to under root of 2 square plus 2 square into v, it is equal to 3 square vf. It can be, what is that, root of 4 plus 4, 8 by 9 v, it is equal to vf. The final velocity vf is equal to root 8 by 9 into v. But the final kinetic energy, we want final kinetic energy, that is nothing but kf is equal to 1 by 2, m means m1 plus m2, it is 3m vf square. Okay, from the equation of mv square. M, it is the after collision, it is an inelastic collision, then the two masses will be added, and kinetic energy final velocity, it should be vf. Already we find the vf value, just 1 by 2 3m. What is vf? So vf square, it is 8 by 9 into v square. So root and square will be cancelled out, v ki square vastundi. And here, what is that? Here you can write that, so this can be cancelled out 3, this can be cancelled out 4, so 4 by 3 mv square. So this is the final kinetic energy. Kf is equal 4 by 3 mv square. Already we denote ki, it is equal, what is the ki? Here ki is equal 3m v square. It is equal to 3m v square. Therefore the percentage change in kinetic energy, that is equal to ki minus kf by ki. It is equal to, ki means 3mv square minus kf means 4 by 3 mv square by, what is that, ki, it is equal 3mv square. It can be simply 3 3s are 9 mv square minus 4 mv square by 3 into 3 mv square, 3 into 3 mv square. We have to do LCM. It is equal 9 mv square minus 4 mv square, 5 mv square by 3 3s are 9 mv square. mv square cancelled out, it is 5 by 9. It is 5 by 9. So we need to percentage that, hence it can be multiplied by 100. Then it is equal 500 by 9 into 11 nines are 99. Okay, 11.1 into 5, it is 11 into 5 55 point something 23, or it is percentage which is near to, that is the percentage change we have to measure. Just see our options. So these are the options we need. Though the 56, it is the nearer to the 55 point something, so option A is the right answer. So see once again here, they asked us, it is perfectly inelastic collision, the percentage loss in the energy. The percentage loss means you should write Ki minus Kf by Ki. So just simply initial kinetic energy and final kinetic energy, just you have to measure all those values. Okay, so these are the types of all the problems in collisions. So you please practice so many problems, it maybe gives you the concept. Okay, the concepts are learned from by doing the problems only. So many problems you have to doing, you must learn very simple way of the problems. Thank you.